Now, what happened was I showed up pretty late. It was their last showing on this day that Sarah, my wife, and I went out there. And God bless Sarah, man. She puts up with this that I always am like, you know what we should do right now? And so we go out and
go to Nick and Judy.
Yep, she already knows. And so we go out there, and as far as time-wise, they have a schedule of their viewings on their Disneyland app, which is nice that they have that nowadays. So you know when they're going to come out. And their last scheduled time to be there was 4 to 4:30. We got there about 4:20-ish and got in line, and immediately a cast member approached us, one of them assisting Judy and Nick, and said, "Hey, just so you know, they're probably going to run out of time for everyone in line, but they're going to walk through the line to say hi to everyone, give a quick hug or a quick picture." Which, in addition, I thought, that's cool. I've never seen them have the characters do that before. Usually it's, "Hey, guys, sorry, time's up." They close the line, and that's it. So we're like, okay, cool, we'll hang out. So I'm wearing one of my Judy Hopps Zootopia shirts, one that says "Join the ZPD." And Judy gets to me first and, sees the shirt, gets all excited, gives a big hug. Hugs Sarah and I, and then she works her way down the line. Nick is, as he does, lagging a little bit, and he's working his way through. And I noticed he was shaking people's hands, which, by the way, I've shaken Nick Wilde's hand a number of times, but this time in particular, Andy, it was a solid, actual, handshake. I was like, wow, Nick has figured out this handshake thing.
And it's tough to give a good shake through that suit,
It's not easy. It's not. You have to know where to put your hand in the paw, I guess. I don't know. But as Nick's shaking my hand, he's looking at me, and all of a sudden he just stops. He pauses, and he starts doing all these motions. Nick doesn't talk in person, but they, he's doing all these motions and whatnot, and he's pointing at me, and he's pointing here, and then he starts doing this, basically acting out an old-timey video camera and saying, "Hey, in some form, I recognize your videos that you've done." And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, the funny thing is, this has happened before, where I've had Judy and Nick be like, "Yo, you're the guy." So once again, Nick does this, and he's kind of freaking out about it, to which I'm like, "Whoa, this is cool." And he tells us, "Stay here till 5. Now, the cast member already had come through because they were so popular, which they always are. They added an extra time slot for people to see them, which was 5 to 5:30. So Nick's counting his fingers, saying, "Be here at 5. Be here. Stay here." So we're like, "Okay, we'll stay here." So there wasn't a line or anything. 5 o'clock rolls around, and Sarah and I are just kind of standing in the area. Again, there's no other indication that they'll be there. Judy comes out, and at this point I told Sarah, "Just hit the camera. I don't know what's going to happen right now." So she's recording this. There's a video. And Nick comes up from behind. I don't even see him coming, and just tackles me. Just bam. He's bam right there. Judy comes over, and I was like, wow. I'm not trying to say this in a pretentious way, but legitimately, I had Disney characters come to see me at Disneyland. It was so cool.
That sounds amazing.
No, it was a super special moment there. And then in addition, and I saved the long story. I told this on we have our Semi-Perfect podcast. I told the story, but I didn't tell it in this detail. In addition to all that happened, they proceeded, as the line started forming. Judy and Nick did not give up on Sarah and I. They're like, no, we're hanging out. At one point we were doing yoga with Judy. At one point I referenced, so the cast member that was there was also interacting with them, and he said something along the lines of, "I know I'm really tired." And I'm like, "Oh, you should do what I do, just sleep on the job." And Judy did not like that. She was like, "No." And I got scolded by Judy during all this. And then she starts referencing Nick, you do not want to be like him. Don't do it.
And this is all being pantomimed, right?
Oh yes, in all this form. And then at one point I referenced the Oasis. I can't even remember why. Oh, because we were doing yoga, and Nick loses it, and he's covering his eyes like Judy did, in the scene, and he's pointing at her, laughing, getting a kick. We were with them, interacting with them for probably close to 8 minutes. And
sweet.
Yeah, and I like, this is something where I'm somebody who I am very aware of this kind of thing, where it's like, for me, I don't want to take up some other person's time to get to meet them, so I wasn't sitting there like trying to make it last longer. Like I was in that mode of like, as soon as you need us to go, we're gone. And they just kept going. I was like, all right,